Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm here at Naval Support Activity here with Neil Patterson. That's your name, right?
That's right.
Okay, I didn't get it wrong because I had it mixed up with the name of this facility, which is what?
The Diving and Life Support Depot. It's the Barry Cannon building. It was named after Barry Cannon, who was on Sea Lab.
If we remember Sea Lab from, I guess it was back in the day.
He was killed, and so they named the building after him.
Wow. So what goes on here, Neil? I mean, I'm looking at this thing here and I'm seeing all kinds of innovative things. Research, development, what goes on here?
We have a lot of people that work with the depot, but the depot itself and the personnel that work down here, the technicians, we take care of all the closed circuit rigs for special forces, explosive ordnance disposal teams, and the fleet divers. So whether it's a Viper, a Mark 16, or Mark 25, we at the depot, we maintain them, we fix them, repair them. So when someone has a problem with a rig, it goes down on them, or it needs an overhaul, they send it to us, and basically we take it apart, clean it, test it.
So quite literally, the things that you do here are really a matter of life and death.
Yes. Everything
to our fielded forces.
Everything that comes out of here has to be 100%.
And it's not just for the Navy, it's for DOD in general?
Basically, it's for military, all military. Explosive ordnance disposal teams, SEAL teams, and the fleet as well.
And all special forces, I would imagine, as well. Now, who's this guy here, and what are we looking at?
This is a new concept. Well, it's an old concept, but basically, it's a semi-closed rebreather system. It's basically used for saturation diving, deep diving. You'll have an umbilical from the surface, giving the diver gas, what he needs for breathing medium, and then if he has a problem and they lose gas from the surface to the diver, he can switch to the backpack.
Wow.
And he can be on emergency gas enough to get him back to either the bell or a platform, and they can get him back to the surface.
Well, it's Year of the Military Diver.
Right.
And we're all going to get a chance to take a peek behind the scenes here if we come out to the base and avail ourselves of the great opportunity of having this visitation or open house that you guys are having here soon. We got to run off to the local weather, but on the other side of that, maybe we'll talk more about the open house. Maybe you can show me around the center here and show me what you do here to keep our guys safe out there. We'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here at the Diving Life Support Depot at the Navy base here, or Naval Support Activity, Panama City. I'm speaking with Neil Patterson, and he's kind of showing me what all is going on back here and all the great things that the Navy does to keep our divers safe. What is this thing I'm wearing, Neil?
That is a Viper SC. It's a semi-closed rig that we maintain here at the depot for the fleet. So if the divers in the fleet have a rig that needs to be overhauled or repaired, they send it to us, and as you can see, this is part of the Viper taken apart.
Man, oh man, there's a lot of moving parts to this thing.
Yes, there's a lot. We probably turn around over 500 rigs through the depot.
Who all typically uses these things? Divers, obviously.
This is the EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal Teams would use this. It's a shallow water mine countermeasure rig for shallow water mine countermeasures.
Okay, so Navy divers, EOD uses this.
Well, all EOD uses this rig only.
Only? Okay, so this is exclusive to EOD.
Yes, an exclusive rig for the EOD divers.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, what makes this so special?
Well, it's for one thing, it's low mu, it's this low magnetic signature. For in case they go up on a mine, they don't want it exploding on them. It's also in the shallow water area. That's where they're doing their mine search. There's wave action there. Well, Mark 16 is another rig they use, but that's a deep set. This is a shallow set. It just has less of a sail area, so they don't get knocked around as much in the surf zone.
I see. So
that's
it's a little more streamlined, basically.
Shallower depth, more streamlined, easier to breathe because it's got over-the-shoulder counter lungs as well.
Now, Neil, you're a civilian, obviously, but you're a retiree. I mean,
I retired in 2004. I've got 22 years active duty as a Navy diver, and I'm a retired saturation diver. But I've been working for EOD and Spec War for most of my career. I've been working doing this for 33 years now.
All right, so you've got just a little bit of experience at this stuff, which is great. I mean, I can imagine a young person who comes out here tomorrow when you guys have the open house here or the visitation, being duly impressed and maybe following your footsteps somehow, huh?
It'd be nice. We need young people to get into the diving program.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's a really high-speed kind of career as well, And if you want to get your testosterone fixed, this is probably the way to go. Now, tomorrow there's going to be that open house at 10 o'clock, right? Now, we won't necessarily get into this shop here, but we'll get to see in general terms what the Navy does for us, won't we?
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll get on out here. Now, 10 o'clock, it's going to be from 10 to 4 tomorrow. Please do not try to drive your car onto the base. You can park across the street from the Navy base at La Quinta, or you can park over in Captain Anderson's parking lot, and the Navy will shuttle you right onto the base. There'll be plenty of stuff to see, and you might even bump into Neil out here. And I don't know if he'll get to wear a cool, heavy thing like this, but chances are you'll see some other stuff.
Sure.
Too. I mean, there's going to be a
Absolutely.
diving demonstration as well, I understand. And if nothing else, you'll get to meet some of the people that, as a taxpayer, I think we need to meet, So the other things that you do here, beside the maintenance of these type things, there's a little R&D that goes on here as well?
Yes, well, we have engineers here as well, so and we help them down here at the depot as much as we can. So if they have a rig and they need to be taken apart or to help with it, we help them with that as well. That's the engineering side. We're the technicians that take care of the rigs as far as maintaining them, overhauling them, and we even go out to the fleet and train the guys as well.
So I would imagine, because this is can be a dangerous profession, that safety is really first. I hate to say the cliche, safety first, but that's your primary concern when you do your work, isn't it?
Right, because most of these rigs use 100% oxygen, so they have to be clean in accordance with 1330. Otherwise, if
1330 is your regulation or whatever.
Regulations for oxygen cleaning,
Yep.
and they have to meet that standard because with O2, with any oil, greases, or hydrocarbons, you could have a fire. And that's the last thing you want to do is have this thing explode on your back.
Holy mackerel! This is amazing stuff. It's amazing what you guys do here, and I'm duly impressed with your skill. And thank you for your service, sir.
You're
and
welcome.
Thanks for giving us this rare peek behind the scenes here, and help me get out of this thing. We'll be right back. Remember to come on out here tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Park across the street at La Quinta or over at the Captain Anderson's. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Time Tech Tuesdays. So this week I have a number of different hacks for you, so there's a little bit of something for everyone. Take a look. So for this hack, what we're going to do is take an empty water bottle. You're going to fill the water bottle to about 1/3 of the way, and you're going to slowly empty out the water, so that way when you hold it horizontally, no more water drips out of the water bottle. Next, you're going to put the water bottle inside your freezer. You're going to want to make sure that you lay this water bottle horizontally in your freezer, being sure not to tip out any of the water that is currently in there. Close your freezer and wait a few hours until the water is frozen. Next, you're going to take the water bottle out of the freezer once it has completely become frozen. Now you're going to fill your water bottle with water, and this will allow the water to stay cold a lot longer than just having a few ice cubes in it. Enjoy your fresh cold water for the rest of the day. Have you ever had one of your favorite CDs not be able to play because it is scratched? Well, we can eliminate this by using toothpaste. Take toothpaste and put it on top of the scratches, covering the whole back of the CD. By doing this, we are filling in those scratches with the paste, and it will allow us to play this again on our CD player. Next, take the soft rag, making sure that it is a soft one, so that way you're not producing more scratches. Wipe off the toothpaste, and make sure there's a nice thin film of toothpaste on the CD. Next, you're going to run your CD underwater, making sure that you remove this film off of the CD. Once you have completely removed all of the toothpaste film, it is ready to be dried off and placed in your CD player. Good as new. Don't you hate it when you just realize that your very last razor is dull? No need to worry, because a pair of jeans will come to the rescue for this hack. All you need to do is take the jeans with the razor blade, and you're going to shave down in the direction of the pattern of the jeans. Doing this a number of times will help sharpen your razor blade and give you a few more uses, just until you can get to the store to buy some new ones. After a fashion of wearing your rings every day, you'll notice that they start to get a little dirty. One easy hack for this is using toothpaste. Yes, that's correct, toothpaste. All you need is about a pea size, and you're going to brush it onto your jewelry. Make sure that you use that toothbrush and get into all the little crevices, so that way you don't miss a spot. Also, don't be scared to get underneath any stones that you have in your rings. This ensures that you get out all of the dirt that could leave your stones looking a little discolored. This next step is the most important step. Close that drain! Because everybody knows what happens when you put a ring near water in a faucet. Whoops! It slips right out of your hand. And I'm sorry guys, I haven't figured out a hack to get that one back yet. Use that toothbrush again and get into those crevices really good. This will make sure that you get out all of the toothpaste and your rings are left shiny, looking like new. Thanks for watching Time Tack Tuesdays. If you happen to have a hack that you'd like to see me do on the show, just email me at timetacktuesdays@gmail.com. See you next week.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Stephen Favaloro from Forest Park Animal Hospital. We're going to talk about heartworms today.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, too. How you feeling?
Well, I had better days. But the shoulder's getting
I know
better.
you had a little shoulder injury here recently, but you seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, I'm going to make it.
I think you'll pull through. Now, this is something pretty gross.
Yeah, well,
You know,
it's
you
not
hear
so
about
gross for me,
heartworm,
but
but
yeah.
I never actually met one before.
So, so here is a nice specimen of a heart with heartworms that have eventually backed up into the right ventricle and right atrium.
And those little spaghetti strand things we're looking at, those are the actual worms,
Those
right?
are the adult heartworms, correct.
And all the other stuff is the structures of
Well, you have the heart, and of course we opened up the heart, and then you've got the formaldehyde that it's in.
Yeah, all right. So it's a dog's heart.
Correct.
And a small dog or a,
That's a medium-sized dog who obviously didn't take his heartworm prevention.
obviously not. Good grief.
Yeah.
Now, how dangerous is that? It'll kill a
Well,
dog. Obviously.
heartworms are, they're very dangerous and they're very common in this area. So you have to have a couple of things to have heartworms. You have to have the type of mosquitoes that will transmit it. You have to have a warm environment. It has to be humid. You have to have animals who actually have heartworms in the area so it can be transmitted, and then you have to have a host who is not on prevention. And once you get that, which is not that difficult, then you're going to have an epidemic in your area.
So how does, say, one animal transfer a heartworm to the other?
So let's say you have a dog or a coyote that already has heartworms. So what those adult heartworms do is they produce babies. And those babies can circulate into the bloodstream for up to 2 years.
Oh my.
So those are called L1, or first larval stage. Now that L1 stage can go nowhere else in its life cycle until it is actually taken up by a mosquito through a blood meal. And you could have millions of babies circulating through the bloodstream.
So they're really on, I guess,
they're
a microscopic
yeah,
level.
Absolutely. So once a mosquito takes up a blood meal and takes in what's called a microfilaria, then in that mosquito's body, that L1 will go through two molts, into an L2 and into an L3. And at the L3, it's the infective stage. So then, and that takes about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And so then that L3 will migrate to the mouth parts. And then when that mosquito goes to bite a host, it'll deposit its saliva onto the skin. And so it's a misnomer that they actually inject the microfilaria or the L3 into the skin. They deposit it on the skin, and if it's real humid and that saliva dries real fast, then it won't be able to get into the skin. So you have to have a decent amount of humidity, and you have to have 57-degree temperature or higher, or the mosquitoes will die.
So basically, it deposits this
Little
larva,
L3,
L3.
and then it enters the skin through the bite.
Okay.
And so then it lives in the skin, and it goes from an L3 to an L4.
So it goes from
and
the
then an
skin,
L4
finds
to
its
an
way
L5.
inside the bite,
And then stays in the skin for about 3 months. And that's actually where the heartworm preventions kill the baby heartworm, so that you don't get the adult heartworm disease, is in that L3 and L4 stage. Now once it reaches that L5 stage, it enters the bloodstream and then goes for another 2-3 months before it gets to the pulmonary arteries, which is, so your blood flows, it goes from, your body uses blood, it doesn't have oxygen, goes to the right part of the heart, then it goes to the lungs to get oxygen. So that conduit between the right heart and the lungs is called the pulmonary artery, and that's where the heartworms actually like to live. They don't actually live in the heart initially, they live in the pulmonary artery.
Oh my.
And if you get, say a 40-pound dog gets, 25 worms, that's a heavy burden. They start to back up into the heart. And so then the heart has to pump against all this resistance. And then you get a lot of inflammation associated with those baby heartworms, and so you get, or those adult heartworms at that point, so you get blood clots that form. So you have a lot of resistance. The heart is starting to have
There is no
trouble.
upside to heartworms at all.
Absolutely not. I mean, they
Yeah.
kill a lot of animals. If you have a dog and you're in Florida or in anywhere in the Gulf Coast region, and they're an outside pet and they're not on prevention, they're going to get heartworms.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of misnomers. People are like, well, my dog only stays inside. Well, mosquitoes like to go inside all the time.
You need to use
open the
heartworm
door.
prevention, inside dog, outside dog, and see your veterinarian.
Absolutely.
And just make sure that.
And there's
you
a
do
lot
this.
of very good heartworm products out there that you give it once a month, and it doesn't matter how many mosquitoes bite your dog, they won't get heartworms.
Wise advice, Dr. Stephen Favalero. This has been fascinating and disgusting all at the same time. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And getting us smart on heartworm. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Joseph Milliron from Bay County Animal Services, and he's got a friend with him today by the name of Pikachu.
Yeah, this is Pikachu. He's a 6-month-old Dachshund.
He's smart because you know what? I said Pikachu and he looked right at me.
He knows his name.
Yeah. What kind of
yeah.
dog is that?
He's a Dachshund mix. He's not full
Okay.
Dachshund. He's if you look at him,
Let's
kind
see.
of big for a Dachshund.
He's very
so,
big for a dachshund. So he looks like he's like dachshund in lab or something. It's
Something like that. That would have been an odd procreation
yeah, I know,
scenario.
really. That's a disturbing visual in and of itself. But and suffice it to say, he's a mixed breed.
He's a mixed breed. He came into the shelter with 2 of his siblings, and they both got adopted. So he's still looking for a home. You
He's a cute little guy. How old is he?
6 months. You can tell he's kind of timid because this is his first time without his litter mates.
Oh yeah.
Still getting used to it.
And he's got pretty big paws. You think he'll get much bigger than this?
Maybe a little bit. He'll probably grow for 2 more months, 3 more months, but not much.
But it's a good size, you know. Pikachu's a cute little dog. Now, how'd you come upon this dog? Was he a stray? Was he an owner surrender? Or
Owner surrender. Yeah, his owner couldn't take care of him and his litter mates, so they brought him to us.
Well, I guess you have a litter of puppies and you can't get rid of them. You got to bring them to Bay County Animal Services, and then you guys will find a great home for them.
Hopefully, yeah.
Now, as with all the animals there, Joseph, you know, they get a little chip, they get spayed or neutered, and they get all their shots, I guess.
Yep, they'll be all set. They'll be fully vaccinated and ready to go home.
So Pikachu's the picture of health, isn't he?
He's doing good.
He's a
doing
healthy young
good.
guy and a little shy, but you know, I think being a puppy right out of the box, so to speak, you know, you can break them into the way you want and make them into any dog you want, because you know, that's the wonderful thing about dogs. They'll adapt to you. Don't chew on my rug, please, Pikachu.
Dogs love to chew on this rug.
Yeah, they do. I don't know why they love it. It's like it's supposed to be like grass, and that's what they're like. Hello, he's kissing me. What a nice little dog. So, how do we get to meet Pikachu? Can we just go out there and visit him?
Yep, you can come out to our shelter. We're on Bayline Drive off Highway 231, or you can go online. We have all of our animals on our website.
And so we can go out there, or we can give you a call as well, right?
767-3333.
767-3333 if you want to meet Pikachu, and if you want to give him a home, and if you want him to get your hand all slimy and spitty like you just did to me, you can go out there and do that too. He's a great little dog, Joseph. I hope someone finds him a home real quick.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, and you know, thanks so much for what you do out there, keeping our little furry friends safe and from running around out there, because so many people just, you know, don't have the presence of mind to surrender their dogs to the animal services. You know, and strays are just a horrible way for an animal to live, you know, on the streets like that. So you guys are doing a great job at taking care of these guys, and if you want to meet Pikachu, go to Bay County Animal Services, take them out for a test run, maybe bring them home and adopt them. And remember, always to spay and neuter your pets. And we'll see you next time.